Welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to empowering Christians to live a fulfilled life by integrating biblical principles with practical steps. Whether you're seeking to deepen your faith, enhance your physical health, or improve your overall well-being, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 7, and we've been talking about food in this season, the power of food, the nutrients that food can provide for you. Today, we're going to be talking about setbacks. Yes, you know, if you've ever tried to eat healthy or live a healthy lifestyle, there are setbacks, things that you strive to do but don't quite achieve them, trying to eat healthy, but you're stuck with bad choices. Today, we're going to be talking about what do you do when you have setbacks when it comes to eating a healthy lifestyle. So let's dive into that. Let's talk about how am I going to respond to food setbacks. I think the first thing you need to realize is it's going to happen. So don't be discouraged. Don't be beating yourself up when you have setbacks, when you maybe make a mistake. You're tempted to eat one too many of desserts, or you overload yourself with a food that tastes really good and you just can't resist it. And now you're full and bloated and overwhelmed. What do? How do you respond? Is acknowledging that mistakes are going to happen. You're going to fall sometimes into temptation. I hope you don't. But realizing that when it happens, my next step is what's important. How do I move forward in spite of this setback? So now that I've realized I've made a mistake, I've made a setback, I didn't eat as healthy as I would want to do, you need to realize that these setbacks aren't going to last forever. And when you can begin to think, hey, failure's not forever, right? The setback isn't going to last forever. The faster you come to this conclusion, the faster you're going to get back on track and achieve the results that you want to achieve. Okay, I ate too much or ate this dessert that I shouldn't have. You know what? I'm not going to let it ruin my day, my week, or even my month and let it throw me off. I'm going to use this setback, use this failure, and I'm going to press forward. I'm going to overcome, even though I didn't achieve my very best today. And this is a really healthy mentality to have, is to look at failure different, to look at setbacks and the things that come up in life different and not let it throw you completely off course. So yeah, you may slip up a little bit, or you may get off track to your ideal diet or your ideal way of eating, but I'm not going to let that completely throw me off on a different path and now go binge eating and quit my healthy lifestyle that I've worked so hard to live. And maybe even if you're starting this for the very first time, is realizing, hey, I made this bad choice. Let's get back on track. Because every step that you're taking is going to help you achieve your goal, or it's going to get on the wrong path and stay on the unhealthy lifestyle. My encouragement for you is not to be hyper-focused on the mistakes, on the setbacks. If you've made one step that wasn't ideal, wasn't how you like it, okay, let's not get hyper-focused on that mistake or that problem and setback. Let's focus and use our energy on how to get back on track, how to eat healthy the next meal or the next time that I'm going to go out. This is where we need to spend our energy, not letting our setback and failure discourage us and overwhelm us, but using this energy as knowledge to know, hey, next time I go to this restaurant, I'm going to be tempted to eat this or respond this way. So maybe I want to spend my energy eating and being prepared the next time I go out, or whatever the setback is. Using that information to say, hey, I'm going to be prepared next time. But until that next time, hey, let's get back on track. How can I get back on track is a really important thing. I remember when I was in bodybuilding competitions, and I was in this competition called a physique competition, where they cared a lot about how you looked and your proportions and of your entire body. Every meal mattered. I mean, every meal, depending on what you eat, it could have a drastic impact on your body. And as you got closer to this competition, your meals mattered even more. And what happened is I found myself living like a hermit. I mean, I was so isolated. I didn't want to go out and do anything with anybody because I was afraid it's going to mess up my eating routine, my schedule, how I live, what I did. And even though these competitions in a way required very disciplined lifestyle, what happened to me was I was so afraid to make a mistake. I was so afraid to get off schedule that it drastically affected my lifestyle, the way I lived, act, thought. I mean, everything was hyper focused around every single meal, every step, every workout. Maybe that's okay for a season, but what it can easily do is creep into our life. And now we can live this way forever and not want to go out, not enjoy life, not be with friends, and be so hyper focused on the small steps that, to be honest with you, your body's going to recover and your body's made to heal and restore and adapt to the lifestyles and the things that happen in this life. God's created our bodies to be absolutely amazing. We don't want to abuse that. We want to give our body the best healthy food and lifestyle as possible, but know that we can recover and know that this small step isn't going to be detrimental to my walk. What happened to me was I was so bound. I was so caught up in that is I didn't want to branch out. I didn't want to take any chances. This was a really important lesson for me to understand that we really can't live this way. And it's going to take going out. It's going to take putting yourself in environments where you may not be able to make really healthy decisions. But how do you prepare for that? How can you maybe eat in advance or prepare your mind to have self-control in these kind of environments and not letting people convince you to eat or live a certain way? I think is a more healthier way to spend your energy and focus on moving forward. There's some really powerful scriptures around this. Proverbs 24:16 talks about this. Matthew 6:34 really reminds us that every step that we take with the Lord, that God is there to meet us. And we don't need to be fearful of what we're going to eat or drink for tomorrow, or even be fearful on setbacks, because these will come. I mean, God reminds us in scripture that there's going to be moments in your life where you're not going to be able to have a perfect scenario, and life's not always going to go the way we want it to go, but how we respond is so important. Our mindset about looking forward, looking towards the future, to have a hope and to stay focused is so important. Yes, there will be troubles for today and tomorrow, but you know what? The Lord is asking us to stay focused on what we can do and what is possible through Him each and every day. One of the things that I like to tell people is keep the end in mind. Think about this as a long game. Hey, we are going to live healthy. This is a lifestyle that we want to have. It's not about dieting or being super disciplined for a very short period. Those help, but we really want to think about this is a lifestyle. I want to live healthy. I want the best life possible until the Lord takes me home one day. Even though I may have this bump and hiccup and misstep, I'm really focused on the long game. I'm keeping the end in mind, that I want a healthy lifestyle. I want to be a healthy person. I want to be known as a healthy person that takes care of my body. We have to be careful in getting super legalistic and have rules and all these regulations around this, because it'll prevent us from living a healthy life. I mean, one of the great things about living a healthy life is I get to do almost anything that I want to do. If I want to help somebody move, if I want to go hike up a mountain, if I want to take adventures, that I can do that because I prepared my body for these things. But we don't want to miss out on all that life has to offer by being super disciplined and hyper focused. Here's something that I want you to take away from this is when you find yourself having a setback, having a misstep, think about this. What's the healthiest version I can have today? What is the healthiest response that I could have? Maybe you ate too much dessert. You feel a little bloated. You feel full, right? You don't really desire to eat healthier. It's usually what happens when we eat the wrong kinds of food, is now we don't desire to eat healthy and we're a little overwhelmed. So what's the healthiest version that I could have today? That's a key. Today. What do I need to do to step forward, even though I may have had a step back, to step forward and be healthy today? What's the next healthy step that I can make? That is going to really help you shift in the right direction, move forward, stay positive, and stay focused on the right thing. Some practical next steps is I want you to be tracking your wins. We can so easily be focused on the negative and the setbacks and be discouraged, but track your wins. Here's what I mean. You had a good day. You ate healthy. Hey, you need to celebrate that and not celebrate it with food. What I mean is celebrate it with somebody. Tell someone, man, I ate everything I was supposed to eat today. I was disciplined. I made good choices. Celebrate that with somebody. Share it with people. If you don't have anybody to share it with, write it down. So when you do have these setbacks, you can go back and look and say, wow, I've actually been eating healthy for 7 whole days. And I had one moment, one meal. That was a setback. I'm not going to let this one meal mess up my 7 days. This is a key to your success, is tracking your wins, knowing the progress that you made, and being able to look back at that to help encourage you for your future. Sharing your progress, sharing your journey with others, friends, family members, sometimes social media is super important to help you stay focused and accountable. So many times, just because I have this podcast or I desire to live a healthy way, it keeps me accountable because I'm like, wow, how can I share with others about living healthy if I'm not living healthy myself? So it helps keep us accountable when we share. It helps keep us motivated because other people come around us to encourage us and to help us in our journey. So next steps is track this progress that you make. Go back and look at wins when you find yourself having a setback and share it with others. And so some resources that can really help you with this is getting on social media communities and letting other people encourage you. Now, you got to find the right communities for this. Some people can be super negative when you have a setback, but find the right community of people. When you have a setback, they're going to rally around you. They're going to help you. And tell people that you want this help, that you want this support. Say, hey, I need 3 people, 5 people that are going to encourage me, help me stay focused when I do have setbacks, and find those people. And I guarantee you, when you put it out there, you're going to find some people that are willing to help, willing to support you. So this is really important when you have setbacks, that you have a community that's available to you that can help encourage you, and that you're tracking it, and that you can find encouragement in the difficult moments of setbacks. Because if we're honest, setbacks can be very discouraging. But I believe God is asking us to press forward, to look forward, and to know that we can have a future and a hope as we trust in Him. So I hope you find this encouraging, and I'm looking forward to hearing the great testimonies and how you are overcoming setbacks in your future. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy Christian Podcast. Now it's your turn to put these principles we've discussed into action. We'd love to hear how they've impacted you. Please rate, review, and share the podcast with others. Join us on social media to continue the conversation and share your insights. Until next time, stay healthy.